Welcome to another marvelous episode of College Football Showdown. I am the governor of college football, and with me, as always, is my co-pilot, Jalen Wilson. Jalen, we ain't did a preview episode in so long. I'm excited,
Intro.
bro. I appreciate it, man. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, It's Thursday, ready for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Got some work to be done tonight, so I gotta finish recording a video and stuff.
Living for the weekend. I feel like so. I figure before we get into today's episode, we'll go ahead and go over the college football playoff rankings. Feels good to be, doing this on Thursday. Also, Moon is going to be joining us live from Bobby Dodd Stadium. So it'll be interesting to see what that's looking like before Georgia Tech's kickoff tonight. So at some point he'll be joining us. We'll completely stop what we're doing. We'll get back to it, of course, but Moon will be joining us at some point. So let's talk about this college football playoff rankings. I didn't know if you had any thoughts. I'm a lot more comfortable with the college football playoff ranking than I've ever been with the AP poll because of their wait and see approach, let things play it out approach, versus the AP poll. They're kind of quick to jump to conclusions. It's like they want to be perfect every week, where there's not as much movement with the college football playoff poll.
I also feel like it helped that they waited till later in the season. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Normally, isn't it like middle of October or something like that when the rankings usually come out? Like middle, late October.
So you're right.
Compared to the first week of November?
Yeah, is it after week 10, right?
It was like what, 4 weeks left when they first released the rank. 4 or 3 weeks.
So, something like that. It might have even been after week 11 when we first got those initial rankings. So that's that's pretty cool. So we're gonna go down the list. We got Oregon at number 1, Ohio State at number 2, Texas at number 3, Penn State at number 4, Indiana at number 5, Penn State at number 6. I'm sorry, I flipped that. Texas at number 3, Penn State at number 4, Indiana at 5, Notre Dame at 6, Alabama at 7, Miami at 8, Ole Miss at 9, Georgia at 10, Tennessee at 11, Boise State at 12, SMU at 11. I'm sorry, SMU at 13, BYU at 14, Texas A&M at 15, Colorado 16, Clemson 17, South Carolina 18, Army 19, Tulane 20. Tulane is the team that we're keeping our eyes on. Arizona State at 21, Iowa State at 22, Mizzou at 23, UNLV at 24, Illinois at 25. How you like the list overall?
I think it's pretty solid. I think it tells me a couple things. Clemson is out of college football playoff race, most definitely.
Yeah, I feel like they've been mathematically eliminated unless they find a way into the conference championship and they're able to win it, of course.
Yeah. Also came away thinking like Boise State might get that 4th spot.
I see what you mean. Not even just like as a G5. You think they can possibly get that top 4 spot and
if Colorado wins the Big 12 championship and Boise State wins their championship,
it will certainly be up for speculation.
Because they already ranked them ahead of Colorado. Like let's say each team keeps winning. That would mean Colorado will have to make a big jump over Boise
for sure.
Because where Boise State 12?
Yeah, I think Boise State is 12. They're currently 12th in the ranking. So
Colorado is 16.
Colorado is 16.
Like if both teams keep winning, it's hard to justify Colorado jumping Boise State 4 spots.
It is unless it's impressive. They're able to get style points and they completely annihilate the team and whoever they play in the conference championship. If they end up in the conference championship,
I think it's gonna be BYU.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not so certain in that. Why you think it'll be BYU? Because they got to win in Tempe this weekend. That's a game on our slate, but that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough to do, man.
Yeah, it's either between BYU or Arizona State. Other than that, it's like any other team is not mathematically eliminated, if I'm not mistaken, but some are. Like Kansas State, I don't think they. And it's like just Iowa State. I don't see Iowa State as a threat. Like I think Iowa State can drop some games. Who does Kansas play this week?
Kansas plays. Is it Colorado?
I think it is Colorado.
Yeah, it's
I was
Colorado.
looking at
Yeah,
the
Kansas
schedule and
plays Colorado this week. Yeah,
that could be a dangerous game for whoever's playing them.
for sure.
Because it's not like they've been crazy terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They've just been bad enough to where they've been losing.
For sure.
I think Colorado will get by the game though. Like I think that's just what I think it'd be an offensive game, but I think Colorado will get by. Yes, it's got to be between Colorado, BYU, and Arizona State. So,
for sure, I would agree with those three teams as well. Sorry about that. I'm fixing my camera. So, who on this rankings list like you completely like just don't like where they're at? I know we both fans of the current layout of the rankings. Is there anybody you feel like is rated a little bit too highly, or somebody that just shouldn't be in this top 25 at all?
Maybe it's just me, and I get they dominated every opponent kind of almost since they lost. Like Notre Dame, I don't like them at 6. Although they look like a well-rounded team, I just don't think they're better than Alabama, despite the record. I don't think they're better than Ole Miss, despite the record.
Right. So you're saying on a neutral field, they playing 10 times. You give both of those teams. Yeah. I think I would have to agree with that.
But I get why they're ranked ahead and one loss, only NIU. They got the win over Texas A&M. But
I think this Army game is going to be scary for them. And I know we're going to, and I'm, kind of foreshadowing it a little bit. We're going to talk about that game in great detail later. What type of role do you feel like Tulane is going to play in this whole thing? I feel like this is the team that can crash a lot of people's party. They're kind of on the outside looking in, but there's some opportunity there. It looks like they'll be playing Army in the American Championship. They kind of been here, they kind of done that. They've, we saw the whooping, not the whooping, but they gave USC, and it was actually able to beat USC a couple of seasons ago. How you like their chances?
I like their chances. It's like 50% like the chances because y'all can play spoiler Army, right? But y'all got to hope Boise State lose,
right. Either way, and even I mean, you think UNLV will be able to get them? Well, actually, because it's not guaranteed to be UNLV in a conference championship, because Colorado State actually has a seat at the table as well. So that'd be interesting. I don't like the matchup with Colorado State. I will prefer it as a fan that it is UNLV and UNLV gets a second opportunity to beat them.
Is there a possibility UNLV could maybe get, like, let's say Army loses to Notre Dame. Let's say Tulane beats Army. Or Army beats Tulane.
No.
But Army be already dropped down because they lost to Notre Dame. Let's say UNLV makes a conference championship, they beat Boise State. Could they possibly see that group of, like, is there a world where they can see it? Because
I'm not sure. I think you asked a fantastic question. Yeah, I feel like that's the only way.
They would need Army to lose. They would need to keep winning, beat Boise State in the conference championship, and they would need Tulane to lose to Army.
Yes.
And they would have to hope that the committee has them ranked over
Army. Yes. Because if Army's able to play, neutral site game at Yankee Stadium, if they're able to have, a close game, it'll be interesting to see how the committee, rank these two. And then does that leave the door open for, other G5 teams that are on the outside looking at?
And I'm telling you this, if Army loses to Notre Dame, Tulane and Army are going to be like one spot away from each other in the rankings.
Yeah, I think it will be that close. We have an interesting thing that kind of an elephant in the room, and I think D-Now did a fantastic job of bringing this up earlier in the season. So the playoff is set before Army Navy, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because we got the conference championships December 6th, 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hopefully, we're down in Charlotte for the ACC championship game. And that'll be like my third or fourth time down there this year. I love Charlotte, second home. But let's say, that it's already set. Army Navy plays. I say Navy puts a whooping. I talk about a whooping on Army, right? And other teams like, yo, it's already set. Like, will Boise State have a legitimate grade? You guys want to play this game? You want to be the only game for that week, other than people trying to make up games for bowl eligibility, because that also happens that week as well. Would those teams have legitimate grades?
I think they can make a push to like kind of make it like a thing. Oh yeah, like let's make the rankings after this game.
Right. But that's not happening though, right? Because it would happen that Tuesday would be the final. It would be that final one.
If there's enough uproar, if there's enough teams
so you saying it like the Texas Georgia game? If the fans,
remember like James Madison last year, right? James Madison, remember all the uproar they had?
I remember.
Undefeated, not making a bowl game.
Right.
Oh, they should make a bowl game, but then the committee was like, or whoever NCAA,
right? The Attorney General, for the state of Virginia, I forgot the gentleman's name.
Yeah.
Went after the NC2A. So it'll be interesting because we can't. Is like, okay, I want to go back to this, and this is probably a bad example because boxing is such a niche sport that if you do cheat and you do have something in your body, you can actually kill somebody, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's the kid's name? The Spanish kid that's suspended for you, Ryan Garcia, in the fight where we saw him beat the brakes off of Devin Haney, and they take the fight away, but I can't take it away in my mind. The one thing you gotta watch Garcia is that left hook, and what was Devin Haney susceptible to the entire time? That hook. But I know boxing's such a niche sport. He definitely had something in the system that he shouldn't have in the system. But you can't take away visually what we saw in that fight because
we saw him get knocked down 3 times.
And you remember before the fight, everybody was saying Haney by a landslide because of how Ryan Garcia was acting, right? But you can't take it away. So it's like we can see Navy beat the crap out of Army, but like, yo, do we really want to see Army in this college football playoff? Even though it's already set. So I got to say, and even though that game technically doesn't count it's not an AAC game. I mean, hell, the game is played after the AAC championship and nothing can be done. Wouldn't Navy then have a legitimate, like, hey, I mean, this the team y'all got in. We just showed we can beat them. Don't we deserve a right to play too?
It all depends. If let's say Army beats Notre Dame.
Yeah.
What if Army's like, y'all beat us, but y'all got whooped by Notre Dame?
Yeah, they might be automatically in if they beat Notre Dame. I mean, not automatically. They will still have to handle business in the conference championship. But, things are getting interesting for this last G5 spot. And I actually forgot to have the graphic of what the actual playoff looks like right now. Jalen, talk to me about, how you feeling overall about Colorado right now. And also the SEC, the makeup of the SEC. We talked about it a little bit on Monday that right now 6 teams, I think, have a legitimate shot. And because South Carolina would need an awful lot of help. But 6 teams have a legitimate shot. That means somebody would have a legitimate grade if they're unable to make the playoffs. So talk to me about the SEC situation. Also talk to me about Colorado. And do you think they should be the favorites to win the conference while I find this graphic?
I mean, I think with the way BYU has played at times against certain opponents, I think they should. Like, you look at Colorado's offense, it's just, it's just clicking right now. Like, right. I still think the defense is like ways away from being able to stop, and a really good offense. But like, I look at it, I'm just like, I like the way Colorado has looked against certain teams compared to BYU. And I trust BYU's offense. Colorado's offense more than I trust BYU. Like, I trust Colorado's offense to score more than I trust BYU's offense to stop. When it comes to those two matching up against each other. Same thing with like Arizona State. Like, like, I honestly just feel like Colorado had too much firepower on offense for them.
Right.
You look at the SEC. So the 6 teams are who? Texas A&M, Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, and who's the 16?
You said Texas?
Texas A&M, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and
it was 16 when we count. We got Texas. Tennessee. I think that's
Oh
the only
yeah,
one we
Tennessee.
didn't
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's. I mean, right now Texas
Would
A&M
it
is.
almost be a disadvantage to play in a conference championship and lose? Of course, you want to play in it, as a coach, because you feel like, hey, we're going to go in here and handle business. But if you get into that game and you have 2 losses and you lose, and a team who didn't play in a conference championship,
It all depends. If I'm
yeah,
Bama and I win the next 2 weeks and I get in,
right, you in the
if I
dance,
lose, I'm in.
right? You think so?
Because
Okay,
because
I see what you're saying. I like
they
your
more
lot.
than likely
I like
stay
your
at
logic
number
there.
7, and it's top 12 teams. They get dropped down to probably number 12 at lowest.
Right. So I don't know if everybody's seen the graphic that I just had up, but the graphic did show Boise State as that 4th team, which makes it really interesting because you would think automatically like, maybe they'll but to have a first round bye as a G5 team, it really goes back to Mr. What was his name? The executive director. Yeah, I think his last name was it Clark? Richard Clark? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
When he was saying, like anybody truly has a chance to make the playoffs. So that would be phenomenal. How do you feel about some of these matchups, man? But before we get into our previews, but right now we will see a Alabama Notre Dame game. I don't want to see BYU and Ohio
we've
State.
already seen that twice in the past.
Yeah. We had. BYU and Ohio State. I'm not sure if I want to see. Oh, Miss Indiana.
I feel like that should be. I feel like BYU.
You think it'll be a physical? You think it'll be a physical game? Okay.
I feel like BYU could cause Will Howard some problems.
How would you feel about Ole Miss and Indiana? I feel like that'll be Penn State, Ole Miss all over again. Me personally.
I don't know. Ole Miss offense hasn't looked the same as it did last year.
It hasn't. It hasn't.
Like I don't think it'll be looking like that. I think it will be like Ole Miss leading basically all the way. Indiana has their chances to potentially take the lead. They just don't. But I feel like that could be a okay game. Like it's not like a top tier college football playoff game, but it's solid.
It'd be decent. And then Georgia and Penn State. That would be probably the marquee match in my opinion. Yeah, that'll be that marquee match. And these are on campus. So you're talking about going to Bloomington, Indiana. Yeah,
I hope it snowed that day too.
Yeah, that would be crazy. What if we get a college football, like a night game with the Georgia Penn State? You talking about snow? You talking about a possible whiteout? That fan base would be like in that game. You talk about being in Columbus. BYU have to travel to Columbus, and then a playoff game in South Bend. Alabama have to go to South Bend. I think these are pretty sexy matchups. So I do like that. So let's get into our first preview, bro. Let's talk about this. What we got first? We got number 6 Notre Dame. They're playing Army. It's a neutral site game. It's a matchup live from Yankee Stadium as the Red Hot Fighting Irish of Notre Dame face the Army Black Knights. Jalen, got a question for you. What is the current temperature in South Bend right now? How do you think that fan base is feeling? How do you think the team is feeling?
Number 6. We listen. We lost to NIU, but we beat every team since then, and we kind of beat them handily, except for Louisville. Kind of caused some problems, but like, we already beat Army Little Brothers in Navy. Offense clicking, like Riley Leonard looking a lot better, looking like we got some wide outs. Like if I'm the current temperature, I feel like it's real warm. It's 85 degrees in the summertime. It's feeling good. Right. Sun beaming down, but it ain't too hot.
I would have to agree with you because coming into the season, the talk was, do they truly have a chance to control their own destiny, right? That was the talk. We talked to Mr. Richard Clark, the executive director of the College Football Playoff, and seeing this, they lost to NIU, but they still have an opportunity to make the playoff, and they control their own destiny. They just have to handle business. Moving right along, Jalen, what's the current temperature in West Point? And are the Black Knights headed to the playoff?
Current temperature, I think it's about like 65.
It's about 65. Like,
yeah, it's
you
like
feel like they're on a break or something amazing, but
yeah, but it's
we're just
like
not sure.
yeah, we can't get too comfortable. You know, we
Okay.
can't go outside with shorts on,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't want to go outside with coats on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can get away with a long sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't too good. It ain't the best, but it ain't the worst because it's like they gotta get past this game, then they gotta hope Boise
Right.
State lose.
Do you think is there a moral victory in this? Let's say, they possess the ball. Let's say, they win it most of the game and Notre Dame find a way to close it at the end.
I
Do you think there's a
guess
moral victory,
is
or
it
like now we will have to see Boise State get the crap beat out of them,
yeah,
in the
like I
conference
think
championship in order for
that
them to make it?
I don't know if it's no more victory because it's like
Mm.
you gotta win.
Yeah, you do.
Now the win isn't required because all you gotta do is win your conference championship and
Right.
you win,
Right.
but it's like you also gotta hope Boise State lose.
Right.
And that's where like the 65 because it's like you gotta hope Boise State lose even if
Mm-hmm.
you do win this game. Now if you win this game,
Do they
right.
leapfrog Boise State if they win this game? Let's say they win this game. Like I said, I think the way to win this game is possess the ball. They have to get pressure on Riley Leonard. They got the number one success rate, number 2 in the nation success rate offensively, number 1 rushing success rate. Like, if they're able to win this game, should they leapfrog?
I mean,
and is Notre Dame mathematically eliminated for your estimation?
Notre Dame wouldn't be mathematically eliminated because they number 6. They're going to drop down to like 11.
I mean, but their 2 losses would be to Army, even though they're undefeated in Northern Illinois. In my estimation, this team is done. Like, they're mathematically eliminated because then you start to look at merit, right? You start to look at resume. Like, how does an Ole Miss resume, their 2 losses stack up against, what I'm saying? How does Tennessee's 2 losses stack up against Notre Dame's 2 losses? And I think while the committee will want the Fighting Irish, such a huge brand, they will want them in the playoff. But I think we see SEC holds a lot of weight as it pertains to these here playoffs. So
they do.
I think that would be the interesting part of it. So moving along, who are the players to watch for both of these teams? Talk to me about some of the superstars on these teams.
I mean, players like when I saw this matchup, I'm thinking of it's going to be 2 keys. It's going to be Riley Leonard, starting quarterback for Notre Dame. I've joked on him on the past, but he's really looked.
Yeah, he's cleaned up
solid.
his act. Yeah, he scared a lot of people in the first couple of weeks of the season.
Because he looked like he was looked like they were scared to throw the ball with him. It was
very shaky. It wasn't a continuation of what we seen in Durham last year, but he finally was able to get it together.
Yeah, and then you look at Army. It's Bryson Daly. Like,
right.
I remember Nino a couple weeks ago, probably about 5 weeks ago, I want to say 4 weeks ago. He was like, saying Bryson Daly could potentially be on them Heisman ballots.
Right.
Maybe not number 1, but on the Heisman ballots nonetheless. Right. I mean, you look at it, he has 644 yards passing. Yes, 644 yards passing. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like, he has over 1,000 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
it's
21 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like those are like I didn't come here with players. I came in with 2 players. So I'm like those are going to be the deciding factors.
Right, they are.
Whoever outperforms whoever is really going to be the deciding factor for these games. Like, and I look at it as Riley Leonard is going to have to show up, and Bryson Daly is going to have to show up. Whoever gets shut down more, whoever struggles more, is going to be on the end of the losing team.
I mean, I will have to agree with you. So, we see some of the projections here. Notre Dame is projected to score 31 points. Army is projected to score 16 points. But forget the projections for a moment here. Army are 14.5 dogs. Jalen, who do you have?
I got Notre Dame.
Why?
I just feel like I can. the trust that Riley Leonard has showed in the past couple of weeks, I feel like I can kind of trust that. I'm not 100% trustworthy,
right?
But when I look at the way they played their opponents, when I look at what they've done, forcing turnovers, how good their defense has been, I just don't like the matchup for Army.
You know, this game, in my opinion, and maybe it's the wrong verbiage I'm about to use, and some people is not going to like it, but I think you will understand it because I'll bring it back full circle. I think this could possibly be a legacy game for Marcus Freeman, because you know how we've seen over the last few years that they'll just lose a game that they have no business losing. We saw it earlier in the year, and hopefully for Fighting Irish faithful that was it. But we also saw the Marshall game a couple of years ago. There was another game, I think in his first year there, they just lost a game.
Marcus Freeman?
Yeah, Marcus Freeman. There was another game. It might have been his first year there. They just lost a game they had.
They lost a couple games his first year.
Yeah,
right? 4 games.
Yeah. So it's to me, it's like, how ready are you going to have your team? Recently, Notre Dame has been a spread killers, man. They've been able to put up some points. Like you said, Riley Leonard has looked really good. The defense is starting to get to that expectation as we felt. The reason why I was using them in Road to College Football Playoffs online is because their ability to get stops. But I think one would be a fool to look at the way that Navy runs their offense versus how Army, because Army will get into some spread sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not all flex.
People are gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be the same thing, and this is gonna be the same game for Notre Dame. No, it's not.
No, it's gonna be a complete different game. You're talking about a team that just honestly runs the ball a lot more effectively than Navy does, and Bryson Daly does give you that ability to take a shot here and there. His completion percentage is low, but if he's just going to have to make some timely plays. What team was it they beat last year? Was it Syracuse? In Syracuse, I think they beat. Yeah, I think that was one of those games you looked at Dino Babers and said, "Yeah, you're out of here." It was like it was a game that Syracuse had no business losing, and Army was able to go in and get a win. I tell you what, I think both coaches have their teams ready. Now, I've been betting against Notre Dame on the spread most of the year, and I've been wrong most of the year. But I mean, hell, the clock is right twice a day, right? So I'll say
a broken clock is right twice a day.
A broken clock
is usually right every time.
Yeah, a broken clock is right twice a day. So I'll say that I don't like this spread for Notre Dame. I'm gonna say Notre Dame wins, but it'll be a close one. I think it'll be a closer matchup than what people think, because I think people quite don't understand how different this offense is from Navy's offense, and it won't be cookie cutter. You won't just be able to come in and win this type of game. Jalen, let's get to our next game, man. So we got the next game on the slate. This is a good one, bro. I feel like the college football playoff has already started for some teams. The playoff hasn't technically started, of course, but teams who have their eyes set on making the playoff is started now. Like for BYU, it has officially started. For Arizona State, it's officially started. For Colorado, it's officially started. So we got this 14th versus, I believe, Arizona State's 21st matchup. BYU is coming off a heartbreaking loss to Kansas. What's the current temperature in Provo, Utah, and will they make the playoff? I'm putting you under the gun a little bit here.
The current temperature is okay. It's like, man, we were undefeated. Now we lost.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're what, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at the playoffs,
right?
Technically, right. But I guess they're still in because they're the highest ranked.
They still have a chance, but when you look at the predictor, you start looking at things and say, hey, you guys really shot yourselves in the foot, because I felt like they had almost maybe 2 opportunities to make it. Let's say they swept through the regular season, lost the conference championship in a heartbreaking fashion. They may have had another way. Now it's only one way. They got to win the conference.
Like if you win last game, you can lose this game
for sure,
and not worry about.
And you still have an opportunity, right? Because it's only one loss now. Arizona State would jump them essentially now if they lost this game. This is a must-win game.
Like some of them fans biting their nails and like, oh my god,
yeah, because you know
chance.
I know they've been talking trash all year because I never bought in. Even games they're beating the crap out of teams that I respect. Like they beat the crap out of Kansas State. I still never bought in. Like I'm like,
I didn't fully buy in. I thought they were a real team, but I wasn't like, this is just a certified college football playoff team. This is an elite level team. But I'm like, this is a good team.
It's a good story. I think I felt like I loved the story more than I loved the program, if that makes sense. Alrighty, so Arizona State has been a Cinderella story, and Kenny Dillingham certainly deserves Coach of the Year consideration. We talked about that on Monday. What's the current temperature in Tempe, and can they make the playoff? Also, I want to publicly apologize to Arizona State. I think I had you guys last. No, I'm pretty sure I had you last. Me and Jalen and Moon are all Big 12 media were able to vote on preseason things. I'm sorry, Kenny Dillingham. I wasn't sure that you was going to turn around this fast, but what's the current temperature in Tempe? I was talking to an Arizona fan earlier. I was like, it's funny. I had Arizona at the top of my list, and of course I changed it to Kansas State before the season started. I had Arizona State at the bottom, and it's kind of almost like they flip-flop. So what do you feel like the current temperatures in Tempe? Are they comfortable with it? Like, hey, we are above where we thought we'd be at this point, or do you think they're out for blood and they really think that they can make this playoff?
Well, I mean, the current temperature is better than what it feels like here.
For sure.
It's snowing today.
It's already, man.
Yeah. Oh man, snow is cold. I got my jacket and my coat.
Man, I got the bubble vest on in the house. It's cold, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like the current temperature is good. Okay. I mean, if I'm them, I'm like, we weren't projected to be here.
Right.
Like, even if we lose, I'm like, we weren't projected to be here. Like, this is a successful season. This is a good season. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the current temperature there is no matter what is warm. Like, unless you just drop the other game after this, like you drop this game, you drop the next game, then it's like, dang, okay. Right. Could end the season off on a better note. Like it's still a good season. Could end it off on a better note. But yeah, I feel like the current temperature right now, I mean, it can't be cold at all. Because if I'm Arizona State, I'm like, we weren't projected to be here.
Right.
Like, we weren't projected to be ranked at this time. We weren't projected to even maybe could potentially compete for a college football playoff spot. Now we here.
Before we continue this segment, man, we got a very special guest, man. CFB Moon is live on site at Bobby Dodd. I wanted to bring him in, so we're going to go ahead and switch this layout real quick. Let's add him to the stage. Moon, what's happening, bro?
Yo, what's happening, fellas?
What's good, Moon?
Tell them where you at, bro.
I'm on the wrong level. I'm on
where you about to head to? They can hear you?
They can hear me? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
CFB Nation Tour takes us to Georgia Tech right now. Getting ready to go down on the field for their game versus NC State. It's going to be a big win. Georgia Tech has a chance to go undefeated at home for the first time since the 1990s. And then NC State, what they've been cooking up with CJ Bailey has been impressive, bro. So it's going to be fun one out here. It's already a lot of fans out here.
So I'm going to put you under the gun a little bit. So what's the current temperature? Not physical temperature, but the temperature of the fan base. How's everybody feeling right now? What's the current temperature right now in hot Atlanta?
Oh, man, they cooking with hot grease right now, man. They cooking with hot grease.
As the boys walking. Hold on. Go ahead.
That's the current temperature.
That is amazing, bro. Oh, man. So you about to run out to the stadium. So what is it like being a credentialed member of the media, bro? Like I think you had one idle week this year. You've been at a plethora of games. What is it like?
I just been out to the field, but the current temperature is exciting. They got a lot to play for, bro. They got a chance to become a better version of what they were last year. I know last year they had their hiccups and everything, especially at home. I know that Boston College game still sticks out to them for sure. But I know they want to like come out, especially on a Thursday night game where you got the whole world watching. The fans is excited though, bro. The fans is excited. They already out here deep. But it looks like it's gonna be good, bro.
Hey man, you had a game. Give us a prediction, man.
I'm gonna go Georgia Tech 35, NC State 31.
Hey, I love it, man. You had fun out there. I remember I was on the way back. Where was I on the way back to? That's crazy. Look at that. Look at that. That is crazy. He's giving y'all great intel live from the sidelines. It's only one Moon, bro. NC State doing some warm-up exercises. Moon, what is that an ESPN game tonight?
I would assume so. Either ACC network.
Yeah, it's either that or ACC network. But Thursday night, I would think that, like you said, it's going to be a ESPN game. That's crazy. I can't believe the his internet connection is working so well, man.
You gotta get away from the music because it's kind of loud. But we got ESPN here already deep, bro.
I figured it was an ESPN game. Hey, Moon, man, we want to thank you for everything you've done on this tour. It's been phenomenal. Season isn't over yet. You know, we got conference championships coming up. We got bowl games coming up. We got Senior Bowl coming up. Possibly the Super Bowl coming up. We got so much, man. I appreciate everything you do on the field, off the field, everything you do behind the scenes for this brand, man. Thank you for this type of. It's great to just be able to interrupt the monotony of this show and have you live there, bro. Jalen, I don't know if I told you one day I had FaceTime Moon. I was on the road, and then Buzz took the phone from Moon and just started, like, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing on the phone. So that was super dope, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Moon, interrupt us at any time. We're gonna continue talking about.
I appreciate that, bro. We out
absolutely.
Here. We out here. And they thinking about you out here too, bro. Mr. Stamens told me to tell y'all what's up. That's the ID for Georgia Tech. And tonight, bro, I met Obstructive Views, the college football campus tour on Twitter.
Really?
He came up to me. He was like, "Oh, are you Moon?" I was like, "Yeah." So he out there. I'm trying to catch y'all last second bite before I gotta go.
Hey, man. Okay. The uni's looking clean, dog.
What's up, my dog?
Yes, Sirski.
Hey, Daniels. Looking good, bro.
Yes, sir. What's number 0? Is that Lamals Brooks? I think he was 21 last year. I think 0 might be Lamals Brooks.
Is he?
He changed his number for sure.
Oh.
Who's number 0? I think you can hear me.
What up, Queen?
Hey, man, being at these games is super fun, man.
Hey, I'm about to check out, bro.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Make sure y'all check out dcfbnation.com. I'm signing out.
Hey, man, that is CFB Moon, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hardest working man in the business, man. That was super dope intel. So I think we had gotten to the point we were going to talk about who are some of the players to watch for these two teams. We're talking about the BYU and Arizona State game.
You know, we got Scatterboo, over 1,000 yards rushing, over 300 yards receiving. Been one of the best backs in college football. Also, Sam Levier, he's been great as well.
I think Arizona State may only have one loss if he plays that Cincinnati game. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about a completely different ranking. And even though this game is of high magnitude, it's even higher magnitude if Leavitt plays that game. And shout out to, we did Sam Leavitt on Debbie Darlings this year. So it's always cool when we talk about a player and he ends up producing.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are like really two key players that I'm really watching for Arizona State. Then for BYU, I mean, Jake Retzlaff, Starting quarterback BYU, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, over 2,200 yards. Really look solid at times. Feel like he's going to be on point this game.
I do too.
Feel like he's going to have to show up. Like, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the corners for BYU are going to have to show up as well. I feel like there's some of the best. Like, I feel like BYU got some of the best corners in the nation. And I feel like every time they win, their corners make an impact play. Wait, did I say Arizona? My bad, BYU. Yeah.
No. You said BYU.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, like I just look at them, I'm like, they're like, I was just watching them, I'm like, man, they shut down. Like I feel like they got some of the best corners in the nation. But Chase Roberts going to show up, leading receiver for BYU. Yeah, so I mean, I think those are some key players to watch for this game.
I like it. So, you know what time it is? It's prediction time. BYU 3-point dogs. Jalen, who you got?
I got BYU.
So you got BYU winning the game straight up?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like overall, I feel like they're a little bit more well-rounded, but I'm still not sure. Like, I'm not 100% sure BYU win this game. But with Scatterbu on the team, Sam Levy on the team, like, I really want to go Arizona State, but I'm kind of being safe and choosing BYU.
There go my dog making his special intro to every episode. Hey, they hear you, B. Chill, man. So I'm going Arizona State, and I'm going Arizona State not only to win the game, I also going with them on the spread. Look at the job that Kenny Dillingham has done. Arizona State is getting, slowly but surely getting healthy again. I think this is just going to be a raucous environment. You talk about playing big time football in Tempe, Arizona, this time of the season. This is probably the biggest game in program history, not program history, but the biggest game in a very, very long time. They got an opportunity to do something special, bro. So give me them by 10 points. Kenny Dillingham, I expect the fans to storm the field. I expect Kenny Dillingham to be right out there partying with the fans. That atmosphere is going to be incredible, bro. I really cannot wait for this game. So Jalen, let's talk about the big enchilada, man. We got a big game. We got a showdown in Columbus, where number 5 Indiana takes on number 2 Ohio State for this Big 10 conference showdown. Starting with Indiana, what's the current temperature in Bloomington, and are the Hoosiers playoff bound?
Are they playoff bound? I feel like they're playoff bound no matter win or lose this game.
Yeah.
I feel like the current temperature is really good because.
Do you think it's best for them to lose this game, win their last game, not play in a conference championship? You think the best way is still to win out, go ahead and handle business?
Because you don't want to even risk anything.
Nah, you don't. You don't. Especially being Indiana. And,
you don't want to risk what they're number 5.
Right, yeah, they're number
losing
5.
And then dropping down to like number 11 or 10.
Right. And
the committee, hey. They'd cut your water off when the rankings come around. And they'd be like, number 13, Indiana.
Right. So you still like their chances. They win out, they lose the conference championship. You think they still automatically in at that point? Okay. All right. So let's switch over. Ohio State, they right in the thick of things. They sitting at number 2 in the country. What is the current temperature in Columbus? And what make the playoff?
I feel like they're a lock to make the playoff. Even if they lose this game, you said number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
You lose this game, you drop down to what? Number 7?
Yeah.
Number 6?
Mm-hmm. And
maybe number 8.
And who they play the last game of the season?
Oh, you talking about the team with no offense, right? The team that they're going to beat. Michigan.
How bad would it be for them to lose this game and then lose to Michigan, bro.
Oh, Ryan Day's done.
He's gone. He's gone. Stick a fork in him, bro. He's done, bro. Like that would be crazy. So, but you said the current temperature. You think their fans are comfortable? Like, okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna make the playoff. We should beat the crap out of Michigan. Let's win this game and show people. Let's say they win this game by 14 plus. You think people would say, hey, this is the best team in the big conference, even with the Oregon loss? You think people would say that? Because we saw Oregon look a little shaky last week.
We did.
And Madison. So,
but some people will say it, some people won't. It all depends on who you ask. And I guess that's a safe answer, but I'm not too sure because some people will look at it as Oregon beat them. Some people will look at it as Oregon struggled last week, and they may have only beat Ohio State because Ohio forgot the time.
Right.
So it all depends on who you ask. I think if you ask me, I don't know. Because Oregon looked good.
Is that your championship pick right now?
You said what?
Is Ohio State your championship pick?
No, I think it's Oregon.
I feel like you're leaning towards Ohio State being your championship pick, though.
I honestly don't know.
I don't think you're confident in Oregon, especially after this past week.
But I'm not confident I am in Ohio State either.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I would have more confidence in Ohio State.
There's teams Oregon. I'm not confident in. I'm not confident in Texas. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I'm not confident in Texas. I'm not confident in Alabama.
Not confident in Alabama.
Not confident. I'm not confident in Georgia.
I want Ole Miss to win it all, but I'm not confident in them. Yeah, it would have to be a Big Ten team, right? I think I have more confidence.
It's those two big.
I have more confidence in Ohio State. And I'm confident in Penn State. Even though they had a chance, they should have handled business. I know you have the right to be done with them. I can't lie.
I thought they were going to be Ohio State. I'm done.
Me too. They were up to nothing. It's embarrassing.
Was gifted. It was like hey, it was like that question. They asked James Franklin $1 million. Or dinner with Jay-Z. This man took the dinner with Jay-Z. Why would you take the dinner with Jay-Z? Now you just lost.
Yeah, Jay-Z would even tell you don't take the dinner with him. Yeah. Oh yeah, he damn sure took the dinner with Jay-Z.
Sign the bonus, and you said no. Hey, dinner with Jay-Z.
Yeah. I mean, but we gotta give a quick shout out to Kirk Signetti. We've been a fan of his, ever since he was at the G5 ranks. I'm happy to see that he had instant success. I'm even more happy to see that Indiana was like, hey, teams are going to offer him that bag. Let's go ahead and give him that bag now. That way, we keep him in Bloomington. Who are the players to watch for both of these teams? Who will be the impact players that you'll be keeping your eyes on this game?
So players to watch for like Ohio State, I mean, there's a lot of players to watch. Emeka Ibuka, Jeremiah Smith, Will Howard. But I've been seeing lots of Ohio State fans say they want Quinshon Judkins to get a little bit more carries. They also been big crybabies about Julian.
You don't think Travion Henderson's been more effective with his carries? I think he's done more with his carries, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I'm just sick of Ohio State fans complaining.
Well, that's what they do.
I saw him complain about Julian Saint last week. Julian Saint sucks. He's not the guy. He didn't even want to come here. He did not look good. I'm like, he's not Big Ten made. I'm like, okay.
That's wild. I definitely think that Travion Henderson has made the most out of his opportunities.
Yeah, but I look at them like, okay. Like, those are some key players I'm really watching for Ohio State because I feel like if all those players show up, Ohio State offense is unstoppable.
When Ohio State team shows up, because we've seen at times they look like a really good team.
I feel like
an elite. They look like the best team in the country at times, and then we get the Nebraska game, bro.
The Nebraska Ohio State is going to show up this week. It ain't going to be
not
Oregon.
Good. That's not good.
It's not good.
That's not good. If that team shows up against this Indiana team, that's not good.
Like, I just not big on Will Howard. Not big on Ryan Day in big games. Not big on Ryan Day in big games. what Jim Harbaugh say? So some start somewhere and then some start third base. That man started third base. He tried to steal every time. And unless it's get Penn State, then it's home run. Then it's always a steal.
So how you feel about Will Howard overall? You think he's an NFL quarterback? I mean, complete 73% of his passes, 24 touchdowns. How do you feel about him? Huh?
We count practice squad as NFL?
Yeah. It's NFL. You think he'd be a UDFA? Or late minor?
He could
go to the Senior Bowl, and that would bode well for him.
Although if Ian Book was an NFL draft pick, maybe Will Howard could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like, I guess maybe he'll definitely be on the preseason roster. But I don't. Is that your dog trying to say no?
Yeah. I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
Yeah, I honestly feel like Will Howard will end up on the NFL roster. Don't feel like he'll last long. That's just fun.
So, talk to me about some of the players to watch on the Indiana side of the ball.
Yeah, Aiden Fisher, the leading tackler for Indiana. Elijah Surratt, leading receiver for Indiana. Those two are really going to have big days. And then finally, I mean, Kurt Warkey, because people were saying to bench him. Did you see that ESPN analyst say that? It was like,
bench Curtis Work?
Yeah, like bench him because if you lose to Ohio State, it won't look as bad. I'm like, kind of a dumb.
Who said? See,
I don't know.
Weird.
It was clipped on Twitter. Somebody posted it on Twitter. There's somewhere on there.
And analysts really started to get me at. It's like, I get it. You guys are fishing for things that are buzzworthy, things to get the needle moving, but you're going to bench a guy that's completing 72% of his passes, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season.
We're going to bench our guy. We're going to bench our star quarterback potentially. Basically, look like we're going to lose on purpose.
Wow. That right there.
Why even go out there then?
That's incredible.
Yeah. Somebody posted it on Twitter.
You cannot make this stuff up.
Because Josh Pate was like, "Oh wait, this is the actual clip."
Right. Like somebody actually believed that. Like somebody had the audacity to say something like that. That's incredible, bro. But but it's the reason why other than Joel Collette, when it comes to college football TV and then college game day on Saturdays, I watch us. That's who I watch, and of course Pate. Pate is through CBS, but it's just incredible some of the takes that people have. It's crazy. That's wild. Like somebody actually said that.
Yeah. I watched them. If Ashley Nicole Moss is talking about college football or basketball, I kind of watch her. But other than that, it's like, I don't really watch too many. That is crazy. You know what time it is, man? It's prediction time. Indiana 12.5 point dogs. Jalen, who you got? I got Ohio State, but Indiana covers. Agree. I think we both agree there. I think Ohio State will find a way to win the game, but Indiana covers. What scares me is if that Nebraska Ohio State team shows up. And Indiana can run right through them, man. Jalen, you got any final words? It's gonna be a solid week for college football. I'm be at home all weekend. AKT, do you know what offense Cam Ward ran in high school? No, what offense did he run? I can't tell you. You got to watch the video tomorrow. Okay, cool. Yeah. I just asked her. I just want to see if you knew it before. So no, I didn't. So that'd be a nice little tidbit. What time you dropping tomorrow? I don't know. Depends if I can finish recording tonight, get some editing done tonight, early tomorrow, then probably around like 11, 12 o'clock my time. That's exciting. I actually get to stay up late tonight. So I'll be watching some games. I'll be doing some articles, and then I'll probably be up late playing 2K. Yelling at the TV per usual, and then I got to set up that college basketball league. Is Steve's down? I don't know. I didn't ask him. We haven't played. We haven't talked since Sunday.
Okay.
Saturday.
Have you guys completely stopped playing college football?
Yeah.
25. I knew it was gonna happen. I haven't played it in a while either. When I play it, I'll go into exhibition. I put it on offense only. I'll run some snaps, and that's about it. I'm waiting for the cross platform, and then I'll be playing.
We'll probably hop back on maybe sometime in like January, February, something like that. It'll be sometime before the next game comes out.
Yeah, for sure, man. So make sure you guys check out that video. I got faith in Jalen. Jalen, I have it out tomorrow. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive in advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. Until next time, you already know what it is. One time for the one time. Y'all take care.